In today's episode, we're taking you behind the scenes of the Social Media Manager's Toolkit.
Welcome to another episode of JFDI with the two Lauras, where every week we share tips, ideas and the inside scoop on running a business as a freelance social media manager. Over the last few weeks, we've had a lot of questions about the Social Media Manager's Toolkit, and we've realised we've never actually recorded a podcast about it. So on today's show, we're taking you behind the scenes and sharing what it is, why it works so well, and why it's so popular amongst social media managers. But one of the most common questions we get asked is, how did we come up with it in the first place? So let's start there.
God, I remember you sending me a message on Facebook Messenger, and it said something like, very old school, it said something like, we should do something with social media managers. And I remember exactly where I was. I was in Florida at my mum's house, standing in the swimming pool because it was really hot, messaging you and being like, what do you mean? But yeah, let's totally do it. And that turned into the Social Media Manager's Toolkit.
Yeah. And look
that
at us now.
So long ago. That was a whole pandemic ago.
Yeah, that was over 5 years ago now.
Yeah, 2018, I think that conversation was.
Yeah, very end 2018, start 2019, that kind of time.
Crazy.
But so obviously I didn't just message Laura as a complete stranger. So let's just give...
Who is this weirdo?
Yeah. So let's just give a little bit of context to that. So Laura and I were both freelance social media marketers. We were both really very similar in what we offered, in that we were freelance ads managers and social media marketers. And we were essentially competitors. And I've told this story a few times, but I used to be in a lot of Facebook groups, as was Laura. And if anyone asked questions about anything to do with social media or ads, I'd be like, I'm going to go and answer that one. And then it would always be one comment. And that one comment was always frigging Laura Moore. Always.
Because I'm better than you. This is why I'm Laura 1.
So then I just had to often think, right, well, hang on, she's answered it like this, but I can answer it better, so I'll answer it better.
I never saw a better answer.
I am Laura 1. So Laura and I, we were essentially competitors, but we kind of got to know each other, and we used to kind of help each other out and just chat each other, all that community and over competition type vibe. And,
we used to have random Zoom calls, not even Zoom, probably Facebook Messenger videos about ads.
Did we?
Yeah.
God. So we just worked alongside each other, really. And we both had, there's obviously enough businesses to go around. So although we were competitors, we weren't really. No. We weren't fighting
Which is weird, because these days we both get the same leads. And back then we never did.
No, I know. Yeah,
it's funny,
it is very strange. Yeah. So by just kind of getting to know each other and chatting more and more, we realised that there was a common theme in what was happening to us, in that we were both starting to get a lot of people coming to us for help who were social media managers. Some of which were, like, I had lots of social media managers who would come on my training, or they would book one-to-ones with me. And that was fine, because they were more about, the actual marketing side of things. But as time went on, I was seeing lots more kind of DMs and emails from people saying, oh, how did you get your clients? Do you mind me asking? Would you help me? Would you mentor me? These kind of things. So I then said to Laura, look, I'm getting all these and I haven't got time. Like, I was at capacity. I was doing lots of training and workshops. Like, I was working a lot. So I didn't have time to kind of answer these questions. But obviously, I wanted to help people. I didn't just want to go, bugger off, or just ignore them. So that's what prompted me. And I knew Laura had because we'd had conversations about this. I know you had similar kind of questions and queries from social media marketers as well. So that was the reason why that message was sent that day. Because all we really wanted was a resource that we could give to social media managers who were struggling with the business side of their life. We didn't want to create a training about how to, press the buttons on Instagram and press the buttons on Facebook and the kind of basics. We wanted to have something so when people wanted to go freelance, they had a resource to help them get those clients.
Because at that time, there were people who were teaching like the social media management side of how to do the job.
Yeah.
And, you know, selling the dream of being a freelancer, but not actually helping you to be freelance in terms of how do you find a client? How do you onboard a client? You know, what the hell do you put in a proposal? All of that stuff.
Yeah.
So people were a bit lost and they had all these great skills, but didn't know how to make money from them.
Yeah. They were kind of left hanging, really.
Yeah, exactly. And like Laura and I were both at capacity. We knew how to get clients in a social media business. I'd had businesses for years. I'd started my first business several years before that. I'd had another business in between. So we knew the business side like really, really well. And we knew that we could help people, but it was time consuming to constantly be replying to people in our DMs saying the same things over and over. And there's only so much you can say in a DM.
Yeah.
You know? So we felt like we were helping a little bit, but not much. And we didn't have time to keep doing it that way.
Well, yeah. And often we'd help somebody and then they'd come back wanting more.
Yeah. Now what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've done that. What can I do next? And it's just like, it's hard, you know, and I'd also at that point done a campaign on Instagram called Meet the Social Pro, which is possibly a name that is familiar to you now because that's the directory name. But it was just a campaign to help good, true, authentic, nice freelance social media managers stand out and for businesses to be educated on how to find a good social media manager and not all these cowboys and shitty people who were like, you know, fleecing businesses. So I'd run this campaign and it was just a way for, it was a bit like Meet the Maker. That was where it, you know, and that was all about people who had got, I think, craft businesses. And it was about understanding the person behind that business. So it was kind of on the same vein as that, really. And I hadn't realised at the time, or I was naive at the time, that I actually thought that would result. I didn't realise that it was result in me having thousands of social media managers follow me on Instagram, which at the time I was like, I don't want this. These aren't my target audience. Like I'd got a nice curated Instagram of all my target like management clients, and suddenly I had this influx of social media managers, which was fine. And obviously, in hindsight, it's been fine to obviously have that. But yeah, at the time, then therefore, I was getting more and more questions. I was getting kind of, how did you, you know, I need your help. So it just kind of got a little bit out of hand, which was why we put our foot down and said, let's do this and let's do it together.
Yeah. And the message that Laura sent me immediately as I'm standing in that swimming pool, I'm thinking, oh yeah, let's have a membership. Laura Davis is like, let's write a PDF. So the two things were totally like misaligned, but equally neither of those two things ended up being the social media manager's toolkit, which is quite interesting.
No, yeah, I was very much wanted something that we could just, it could be there to sell and I didn't have to do anything more.
Yeah.
Because I was just so busy with my clients. Like I didn't have the capacity to go down a membership route. And obviously, as you all know, we now have a membership, but that's because we've changed our own businesses to allow for that.
Yeah. It's so funny though, isn't it? It just literally like it was this small idea that's turned into this amazing thing that's helped thousands and thousands of social media managers now. And if we'd have known back then what we know now, like would we have done the same thing? I don't know. It's just, we'll never know. But yeah, so let's talk about what's in it then.
Okay. So the main section that I suppose has been around from day dot, because it's now the toolkit is huge and we'll obviously cover everything in it. But the main piece that kind of was the very start was what's called the business blueprint. And that is all really the resources. Because I remember when we created it, we were like, let's just add this. And then we could add this. And then we could add this.
Yeah.
And then so this idea of a little PDF was suddenly like blown out the water.
Yeah.
But it was everything a new freelance or someone who's been in it for a while but still struggling needed to go to get a client, to onboard a client, to get rid of a client. So it's got in there, for example, help with how to host your discovery calls, like what to say, what to ask, how to conduct them generally, how to end them. So that was the starting point of what you do when you, because we were having lots of people asking us, what do we do? And again, we'd never really thought about it, I guess, had we? Because we both had obviously done quite well. Like, I'd never got on a discovery call with a client and not won them as a client.
Yeah.
So to me, I hadn't realised that this was something that people struggle with, which is why we just put everything in the toolkit was just based on how we did things. So yeah, the discovery call plan was put in place. And then we also decided to pop in the proposal template that I'd created in my business. And I'd never lost I've never lost a client using that proposal template. I still haven't now. And it's brilliant. quite frankly. Now, don't get me wrong. The one I used wasn't as pretty and nice as the ones that are in the toolkit. We have used a designer to help them make them look nice. It was fairly basic when I had it. But the fundamental parts of that proposal template are still as it was then. We've tweaked them possibly slightly to just be more timely, but it works so well. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of social media managers who have won clients using that template. It's phenomenal, really.
Yeah. And what you say about the templates and the designer, like, it has evolved so much over time, hasn't it? So whereby we started out, and I think we had one design, and it was very basic. It was something that we'd designed from your template for the proposal and for all the other templates. We then had a graphic designer, and I think we had maybe 3 different designs. Now I think there's like 7 or 8 designs, but they're also available on a G-Doc with different designs. Yeah. So if people don't like to use Canva, they can use a Google Doc. And, because what we always do is we pay attention to what people are saying. And especially right from the very beginning, we're like, what else do you need? And now people are still saying, this is great, but I wish it came in this format. And so, wherever possible, we've made tweaks and, added in different ways that people can use things so that, because we want it to be easy.
Yeah.
We want people to be able to go in there and easily get what they want and need to be able to win those clients and work with amazing clients. And some of the people who've got the Social Media Managers Toolkit have worked with such incredible clients. And they tell us such brilliant stories about their clients and how they've won them and stuff. And it's amazing. And to think that, we thought this was just going to be a quick PDF. And now, it's far from that. But yeah, the proposal template that you've won all your clients from, so many people on our website, you'll see there's so many people who have won clients just from that one template.
Yeah.
And made so much money just from winning those clients with that template. It's amazing.
Yeah, we should have counted it really if we'd have been clever.
Yeah. Too late now.
I know.
But we were also having people who were like, okay, well, great. Well, I've won this client, but now everything's really stressful. I don't know what to do. I know I need to start posting and I don't know how to do blah, 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 blah. And it was all felt really heavy to people. So we gave people, and we put in the toolkit, our exact onboarding process. Absolutely everything we did. And sure, over periods of time, we've tweaked and changed things, but we've also tweaked and changed it in the toolkit so that, you've always got access to the things that we're doing, the things that we're using. So we show you exactly what to do when a client says yes to you from that proposal. Yeah. There's templates for every single step, from writing their brand voice guide to auditing their platforms to writing their strategy to offboarding them. If you stop working with the clients, you know exactly what to do and when to do it and how to get the testimonials and everything so that you look professional the whole time and you don't have to think, what do I have to do now? Or, try and start everything from scratch and kind of wing it and come up with a new system every time, because these systems are tried and tested and proven to work. And you don't have to start from scratch anymore. You can literally just go and plug in what already works for us and for thousands and thousands of other people.
Yeah.
Without having to worry about, but is this going to work? Because we know that it does.
Yeah. And it's that you never really know. I always used to be thinking, what are other people doing? Am I doing something different to everybody else? Am I doing worse than other people? It's
just human nature, isn't it?
Whereas now now what everybody else. Yeah. You've got the toolkit, what, all the best ones are doing, because they've got all these templates and processes and orders to do things in to make your life as easy, and your client, but to make your life as easy as possible. Because especially when it comes to onboarding, if you kind of fuck it up and don't get your boundaries set properly, and you end up going back and forth to clients and what you're irritating them, it's not a good way to start a relationship, and your retention, I suspect, will suffer as a consequence, because that onboarding part is so important. It's where yes, your clients said, yes, okay, we'll go with you. The onboarding is where you reassure them that they've made that right decision. And that's where a lot of trust is instilled at the start of that relationship. And, so it's really important that you get that right.
Yeah. There is one thing that I think we should make very clear in regards to like the templates that are inside of the toolkit, because you can get templates from all sorts of different places now. You can go on Canva and there's probably a proposal template, but our templates are not just pretty, they are very pretty templates. You can, there's lots of different ways you can make them look amazing.
A bit masculine. They're not all pretty.
You can do all sorts. You can change how they all look. But the point is that they're not just pretty templates. They are strategic.
Yeah.
And they were created and used very plainly before they were ever pretty templates.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of templates these days, graphic designers create them to look nice. We created these to work and then made them look nice.
Yeah, because remember,
it's the opposite.
These were our templates that we needed to work for us. We weren't just going, let's just whack this template in because social media managers will like that. That's not the case. It was adding in the templates that we already used. So they were designed by us needing to work because we needed to get those clients onboarded or win those clients or whatever it may be. And I do think that's the difference. A lot of these templates aren't just a tick box of things to chuck in the toolkit. They were and are the things that we would still use tomorrow if we were to win a client.
Yeah, totally. And then there's also sections. So there's video training in the business blueprint. There's templates. There's checklists. There's downloads. There's all sorts of stuff. And we also kind of answer the most commonly asked questions, and we advise on what we would do in those situations. We recommend tools that might help you to do different things. So you don't have to go and Google a load of different tools. It's all right there in front of you. And everything is delivered in like a password protected portal that's really easy to go and use. Because we know, since we set this up, 5 years ago now, that people log into the toolkit all the time. This isn't something that people go and binge, although they do binge it, but they don't binge it and then forget about it.
It's not like a start and end.
No. This is something that people log into week after week, month after month. And some of our very first buyers who bought it in 2019, when we very first launched it, they still log in now, 5 years down the line. Because they know they can go in there, they can go and grab whatever it is that they needed. So everything is there and it's really easy. But it's not just for new people. I want to make this really clear. Yes, it's brilliant for new social media managers. It's brilliant for people who are just starting out and who have been winging it. But it's also brilliant for experienced social media managers who want a little bit more structure, who want to make sure that everything that they're doing it perfectly, that everything looks great, that they haven't missed anything, because you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So, you might think you're doing an amazing job, and then you look at the toolkit and you're like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you don't know unless you know it. That's a really rubbish way of explaining that. But
you only know what you know.
Exactly. And I was looking at our stats recently to see, like over the past few months, who's been buying the toolkit. And there's a lot of people who are brand new. I think it was something like 38% of people are brand new. But 23% of people who've bought the toolkit recently have been in social media management for 5 or more years.
Wow.
So it covers the whole spectrum of your whole career as a freelance social media manager. So
there's people in our world who have been in the job 10 years and still use the toolkit and use it regularly. It is something that you will go back to repeatedly.
Yeah, because we've designed it that way.
Yeah.
We want it to be that way to make it easy for you. So that's the business blueprint. The second piece of it is the content inspiration kit, which is where we train you to help you to build a system that we use to stay organized with your content for your own business and for your clients. It's what we use, and it helps you to make sure you don't lose those brilliant ideas that you have. You know what it's like? You're like, I don't know, scrolling through social or whatever, or having a conversation with someone, you're like, oh, I've just had a really good idea. I'll write that down. I'll put that in my notes. And then
you're talking about me.
That's it. It's forgotten. Yeah, and me. We'll put it in Slack. It's never to be seen again. But in this content inspiration system, you put all of these ideas in one place. And when you're creating content, you've got everything there. So it's not just those ideas, it's the links that you need for creating content. It's the client assets. So you've got all the photos, for example, of their products, but you also know exactly what that product is. You don't have to keep going back to them and being like, what is this thing again? Especially if it's like with you and your client and their boats, and you're like, which boat is this? You don't have to keep going and like looking back in the WhatsApp conversations or the emails or wherever it is they've sent you to try and find out all that information, because it's just there and it's really easy.
It makes you so much more efficient. It's like the amount of times, like that example of going back in a WhatsApp and looking for previous conversations, because you can't ask it again because you've asked it before, so you need to go and find the answer. And it's just about coordinating everything, so it's all in the same place, and you've just got one place you can go to answer any of your questions, and it just makes you such a more efficient and organised worker. And when you're efficient, you can make more money because you're not wasting time doing things on repeat.
Yeah, you're never kind of going into those content creation sessions without any ideas, with just a blank screen. You've got it all in front of you.
Yeah.
And currently, there's also some additional bonuses in the Social Media Managers Toolkit, the first of which is our Ads Manager Academy training. So this is in-depth training to help you to learn how to run Facebook ads.
Meta ads. Come on, Laura. It's 2024.
I would still call them Facebook ads because they show on Facebook as well.
Yeah, but they show on Meta.
Yeah, but I would still call them Facebook ads.
All right. All right, Granny.
Unless I'm writing something down, when I definitely write Meta. But anyway, Ads Manager Academy is relevant to Facebook and Instagram and Meta and anywhere else that they decide to show any of their ads. Yeah, and this is our like in-depth training. So this is great for you if you want to learn how to manage ads for your existing clients, you want to learn to manage ads for yourself, or you think at some point, I want to just be an ads manager because I know that's where the money is. This training will help you to do that. And it's really in-depth, isn't it?
Yeah, it's everything you need really to get yourself going as an ads manager. So it's not just a quick how to use ads manager to get leads type of couple of hour training. It's a full on program that takes you through everything you need. It's a whopper.
Yeah, it's a case of if you at some point want to be an ads manager and you've got the Social Media Managers Toolkit, you don't have to go and fork out another $5,000 to go and learn how to do it.
No, oh God, no.
You've already got this.
Yeah.
You've already got this, and you can just dive into that whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
And if on the same vein, if you never want to learn how to run ads, that's totally fine too. You can just totally ignore that whole section. That bonus isn't relevant to you. You don't have to use it.
Yeah. Which is probably similar views to Google Analytics.
Although I would argue that everyone should probably be using Google Analytics.
So we've in the as another bonus, we've got Google Analytics training in there to help you. And as Laura says, really every social media manager should understand Google Analytics, because essentially it's how you're going to prove your return on investment or their return on investment. So we have got a training in there that's going to help you understand whether your content is actually working, like really working, as in generating leads or generating sales for your clients. So you can report back to your clients on more than just likes and reach and impressions. It's actually more tangible results, which clients will really appreciate, and clients will keep paying you as a result of. So yeah, we've got a Google Analytics training in there as a bonus as well.
And then our final bonus that is in the toolkit at the moment is the 5K Kickstart program. And this is in there because we surveyed social media managers a while back, and what we discovered was that most people wanted to work towards making $5,000 a month, which actually is quite surprising with all the 10K month kind of content out there. Most people wanted to make $5,000. So we created a program that was help you to make $5,000 a month.
If you want to.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to. It's there if you want it. It's not compulsory, but it's a good training that will help you to change the way you price, to change the way that your business is set up in terms of what you offer, so that you can make the money that you want to make. And yeah, it might be that you might want to make $5,000 a month. It might be that you want to make $3,000 a month. It might be that you want to make 10. But what we teach you in this will help you for whatever that income goal is, even if it is more than $5,000. And you can dive into that anytime you want as well. And I know I said that was the final bonus, but this week we have another special additional bonus, which is going to be available for anybody who enrolls in the Toolkit before 10 p.m. this Friday, which is the 11th of October. You will also get another additional bonus, which I'm going to let Laura tell you about.
So if you, as Laura says, if you're enrolled in the Toolkit by Friday at 10 p.m, we will be offering you an audit of your Instagram account. So if you are struggling, not getting the results you want, or maybe you absolutely smashing it out of the park, but you want to change direction slightly and need some help, then we are offering an Instagram audit to everybody who signs up for the Toolkit before Friday at 10 p.m.
And if you want to know what that actually involves, we recorded a podcast last week all about how we would audit somebody's Instagram. So feel free to go and listen to that. But yeah, to get your hands on that bonus, all of the other bonuses, currently there's no deadline on those. But if you want this specific bonus of the audit, you have to enroll in the Toolkit before 10 p.m. this Friday, the 11th of October. We'll make sure the link is in the show notes. The link to go direct is the twolauras.com/toolkit. And as long as you enroll before 10 p.m. on this Friday, it will automatically qualify to get one of those. You don't need any coupons or anything like that. We'll just automatically apply it to your account. So there we go. That is a quick whistle-stop tour of the Social Media Manager's Toolkit. All the information, as I've said, is at the twolauras.com/toolkit. But if you've got other questions about the toolkit, whether it would work for you, whether it's right for you, whether you're unsure about something that's in it or not, then drop into our DMs. We are the Two Lauras on Instagram, or drop us an email. We'll make sure the link to all of that is in the show notes. And that's it. We will be back again, same time, same place next week. We'll see you then.
Toodle pip.
Au revoir.
Bye.